Hello everybody. Welcome to this session on features of object oriented programming. In this session we will try to understand basic features of object oriented programming and we will also go through some of its examples. Object oriented programming has multiple features and important ones of these are inheritance, polymorphism, genericity, usability, abstraction and encapsulation. In this session we will go through inheritance and polymorphism. In the next session we will have an overview of other important features and then conclude with the advantages and disadvantages of object oriented programming. So let's start with inheritance. Inheritance is one of the most important features provided by object oriented programming. As the name suggests, in inheritance, a class can inherit some features from another class, or a class can have a legacy from some of the other class. Using inheritance, we can have or build a relationship between two classes. In inheritance, there are basically two classes in view, the parent class and the child class. The parent class is also called as a base class or a superclass, and a child class is also called as a derived class. The parent class has its own data members and features or data members and functions defined in it. If a child class inherits a parent class, then all the features of the parent class, that is its data and methods, are accessible in the child class. This is a very interesting concept. Let us see some of more details. Inheritance is basically an is a relationship. Suppose consider there are three classes: a student class, an undergraduate student class and a postgraduate student class. So we can say that an undergraduate student is a student basically, or a postgraduate student is also a student. So both these undergraduate student and a postgraduate student has some of the common features. These common features will be represented in a parent class called as student. So common data members like a roll call number or a registration number or the personal details of the student and its related functions and data members are all represented in a student class. But the data members or functions specific to undergraduate student or those specific to postgraduate student will be defined in the derived classes of undergraduate and postgraduate students. I hope you are clear with this is a relationship. Let us see few more examples of this. Consider an animal class, which is a parent class in this case, and it has two derived classes, vertebrates and invertebrates. Vertebrates and invertebrates have their own properties, but they have some common properties and features which can be represented in the base class, that is the animal class. Or let us consider an example of vehicles. There are generally categorized two types of vehicles, land vehicles or water vehicles. Both of these have their own individual properties, but the basic properties of driving a vehicle, stopping a vehicle, or accelerating a vehicle, maintaining a vehicle are all defined in the base class called as vehicle class. Yes, this seems to be interesting. Let us go to another interesting feature of object oriented programming, that is polymorphism. All of you are aware that polymorphism means one name, multiple forms. I would like to make it a point that polymorphism is not only provided by object oriented programming, but it is also provided by other programming paradigms like structural programming or procedural programming, and also logic programming or monolithic programming in some cases. Let us go through some of these examples. In the first example, you have two variables A and B, with A having a value as 5 and B having a value as 10, and variable C stores the addition of A and B, that is 5 plus 10, that is a value of 15 will be saved in variable C. Consider another example. There are two strings variable str1 and str2, which represents two strings kkw and IEER respectively. We are writing str3 equal to str1 plus str2. As you all may be aware of, the plus operator here refers to concatenation of the two strings. So str3 will be the string 1 followed by string 2. So here you can note down that the plus operator, when used with integer values, it performs the operation of addition, but when the plus operator is used with string parameters, it performs the operation of concatenation. This is very much interesting. This type of operations is called as polymorphism. Object-oriented programming provides or supports polymorphism in an object-oriented manner. Like, let us see one example of a shape class. A shape class provides basic functionalities like accepting parameters of a shape, like accepting length of the sides of the shape, or drawing an object or drawing a shape on the screen, erasing a shape on the screen, and so on. But shapes are of different types. There is a rectangle shape or a triangle shape or a circle shape. So we have three different classes representing these three shapes, and we can have many such classes representing different types of shapes. Each of these three shapes, rectangle, triangle, circle, have its own method to draw the object. There is a different method to draw rectangle. Obviously, rectangle has 4 sides, triangle has 3 sides. So, a draw function behaves in a different way when used with a rectangle function or a rectangle class. A draw function behaves in a different way when used with a circle class, or a draw function behaves in a different way when used with a rectangle class, which is called as polymorphism. So, object oriented programming has provided a great deal of importance or a great deal of variety of applications by having these two important features of inheritance and polymorphism. So with this we end this session. In the next session we will study some more advanced features of object oriented programming. Thank you for attending the session. For any queries you can always drop your questions in the question chat box. Thank you all for attending.